What is the meaning of call by value? Observe here, call by value. And why it is called call by value, that also I will tell. So in case of call by value, in case of call by value, the changes that are done inside the called function, inside the called function. Yes, this all this terminology I have given you clarity. What is called function, calling function, all these things. So in case of the call by value, the changes that are done in the called function will not take effect inside the calling function. Will not take effect inside the calling function. This is the definition. Now let us see programmatically how these things actually happens here. So suppose for example, here I'm writing one function called int main. This is a simple function I'm writing int main, and here I'm having int a is equal to 5 and then b is equal to 6. Fine. So with respect to this line, a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 6. So with respect to this line, we want to see what is the memory diagram for this. Of course, one memory location will be created for the variable like a, and it will have a value like 5. Similarly, one memory location will be there. Which memory location? Stack memory. So a, and it is b. These are the location name, and now it is having some addresses say 1000, and it is having some addresses say 2000. And what are the values? 5 and 6 respectively. Okay, now let me very quickly tell you one point here, that is inside the box. Always remember, this point is very important. Inside the box, whatever we have, that is called as value. Inside the box, whatever we are having, that is called value. What is this b, or what is this a? They are called name. These are the name. And in case of value, whenever we call, in case of variable, whenever we call them by the name, they respond with the value. You know that. Suppose if I say, if I write printf percentile d b, 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 so that's the name, but how it will respond? By the value. And this is none other than known as address. So this thing you have to remember. Inside the value, inside the box, we have a value. Outside the box, we have a address. And whenever we call any variable with a name, it responds with a value. Whenever we call, this note is very important. Whenever we call any variable by its name, it responds by its value. Responds by its value. That is the fundamental point you have to remember. Okay, now let's come back into our coding, and move it a bit right hand side here. Yeah, so now in the coding, back to coding, I said here printf before function calls, the values are, before function call, the values are percentile d a comma b. So very easily you will able to predict the output. If I ask you what is the output, then you will say, sir, definitely first output will be 5 and 6. No doubt about that. 5 and 6 is the first output. Fine. Now I'm calling a function here. I am calling a function here whose name is say fun. And to this function I'm passing this a and b. To this fun function I'm passing this a and b. So see how I'm calling a, b. What is this? Just you came to know, sir, b is a name. What is a? That too is a name. So that means when I call the function fun and I pass a, b, that means I call them with their name. Hence this is none other than is known as call, yes, call by value. Whenever I call them A, B, they will respond by the value. So that's why it's called call by value. Okay. So now you know that whenever we call the function, immediately what happens? Sir, the control will go to that function. Which function? It will go to the fun function because you kept the function name as fun. So control will go to the fun function. So let us assume this is where I am defining my fun function. Here is my fun function. Fun. How many argument it is receiving? Int A and int B. Sir, can I take any different name? You can take different name also. You can take different name also. Okay, let me take different name. Same name can I take? You can take. If I have a blue pen, you can also have a blue pen. So if myself is main function, if I have AB, you can also have AB. Now once you write this X and Y, so similar to this A and B, there will be two memory allocation will be created. This time memory allocation will be created for the variable X and for the variable Y, but with a different addresses. This address will not be there. So with a different addresses, two memory location will be created. Let us create, this is X and another is Y. What is the address? Suppose for X, address is say 3000. Again arbitrarily considered. This 3000 is considered arbitrarily. Fine. Similarly, if I ask, okay, for the Y also we need some addresses. Let it be 4000. What value it will get? You see here, you are calling A by name. Oh, A. That means that it respond by 5. So this 5 is going to here. So that means X value will become 5. Again, you are calling B. How it will respond? Sir, B will respond by its value. How B respond? It will respond by its value. What is that? 6. So this 6 is coming here. And now this 6, who will get this 6? The variable Y will get the 6. Yes, that is the reason I kept the Y value as 6. So here, how I call A, B, but how they respond? 5, 6. So that means calling is happening by the value. That's what is called call by value. Fine. Now, inside the function, I started writing some code. Say for example, I said that, okay, inside the function, I want to print the value. What value I received, that is what I will print. Okay. So here, inside the body of the function, I write another printf statement. Printf inside the function, the values are, what value you received. Inside the function, the values are percentile D X comma Y. Inside the function, the values are, this is what I'm printing here, percentile D X Y. So automatically if I ask you what value will be printed here, then you will say, sir, again 5, 6 will come only. 5 and 6 will come only, no doubt about that. Now inside the function, what you are doing, you said, sir, I'm writing here X plus plus and Y plus plus, X plus plus and Y plus plus. Now let me do this. Let me, instead of keeping the printf function here, suppose I said, okay, I will print after incrementing the value, not before that. I want to keep it here. First I will increment the value, then I will print. So that means what value you received? 5, 6. Then what you have done? Sir, X plus plus, Y plus plus. Automatically the X value will be updated. What is the updated value of X? You said plus plus. That means it will become 6. With similar reasoning, this 6 will become 7. This 6 will become 7. Fine. Now I'm printing the value. So inside function, the values are. So what value will be printed? It will be printing 6 and 7. The values will be printing as 6 and 7. Fine. So 6 and 7, right? Now I'm closing the function. I'm closing the fun function. Now once I want to close the fun function, what I have to do, I have to give a curly brace here to close the fun function, and that is the end. Fine. Now what is the return type of the function? If you don't write any return type, you will find in our copy we had the note. If you don't write any return type here, by default for C programming language, it is considered as int. By default in C programming language, it is considered as int, not as void. Okay. So can I skip the return type here? No, you cannot skip, because sir, you are not returning anything. Hence, you should not have a return type like int. You have to write return type here as void, because the function is not returning anything. So that is the return type of the function void. Fine. Now the control went to the fun function for execution. Now the fun function execution is over. Fun function execution is over. It is done. Now what will happen? Control will automatically come back to the main function. Control will automatically come back to the main function. And now if I have any code after this line, that will be executed. So let us assume here we have some kind of coding after the function call. Let me write here, and I am writing here printf after function call. This function call is over. The values are, after function call, the values are, okay, percentile b a comma b. So what is the answer? And of course here it ends with return 0. All the points with respect to this return already there in your copy. You have taken that note. Return 0. Now sir, the question is, what is the output with respect to this line? Yes, you should tell. After function call, the values are, look into the values of a and b, 5 and 6. So that means, sir, here when I printed, I will again get the values like 5 and 6. So it is something like, guys, think about main function is myself. This is myself, okay, and this is you. Fun function is like you, okay. So I have given you a note. Whenever I will give the note, I will never give my original copy, because on the original copy you may make any changes that should not reflect in my original. So that's why what I will do, I will give a copy of my note. I'm giving a copy of my note. You got it. Then you made some changes in that note. Will it affect in my original note? It will not affect. Same thing happening here, sir. Main is giving a value to fun function AB, that is 5, 6. Fun, after receiving that value 5, 6, changes that value to 6 and 7. But when control came back to the main again and checking the value of A and B, it is finding that, okay, it's not reflected. So that is why we said that we given the definition. Now you can read and you can able to relate. In case of call by value, yes, the changes that are done inside the called function. Yes, this is the called function. Who is called function here? Sorry, inside the here, not called function. Called, the function who gets called is called function, right? I have written correctly. Inside the called function, who is called function here? Fun is the called function. And who is calling function? Sir, main is the calling function. So fun is the called function, main is the calling function. So whatever changes that are done inside the called function, have you make any changes? Yes, I made some changes in the called function. It will not take effect inside the calling function. You can see before calling, after calling. Sir, before calling 5, 6, after calling 5, 6. In the middle, some changes happened. Where happened? In the called function. But will it reflecting in the calling function? No. This is none other than the concept of call by value. Now we will move to the concept of call by address. Before that, if you need, you please take the diagram. You please take the picture of this. So if you are asked in interview, give all clarity with point, with diagram, with control flow, everything. Now, After this concept, call by value, next concept that we are going to learn is the concept of call by address. Call by address. So before I let you know the call by address story, let me tell you one simple thing here. Suppose for example, you are writing one code here. Simple code you are writing. Let us assume you are calling one function here, fun. Okay, fun. Take two value, 5 and 10. Okay, define fun now. Void fun. Void fun. How many arguments require? Int x and int y. Let us assume. Now you are asking the fun function. Increment the values. Increment the values means, sir, increment the values means increment x and y. Can you do that? What is the problem, sir? X plus plus, y plus plus. So my first requirement you satisfied. I ask increment the values. You increment it. Now can you satisfy my next requirement? Return both the values to main. Yes. Can anyone suggest me the code now? Return both the values to main. Can you able to satisfy my requirement now? Can you return both the values to main? Any suggestions, students? Sir, I will write this code so that both the value means the updated one will be returned back to main. Can you able to write any code for that? Return both the values to main. So let us assume you are trying to say like this, sir, you do like this, return x, and you write like this, sir, return y. You do write like this. No, it is not going to work. Why? Because, sir, once return x will execute, control will come back to main, and return y will never get the chance of execution. No. So you are not able to satisfy my requirement. Return both the values to main. You are not able to do that by this approach. Then you suggested one more approach. Return x comma y. You thought that, sir, both value will be returned. But now here comma is visible. I told you earlier, comma can play role of operator and can play role of separator. That is the role of comma in C programming language. Can show the talent as a role of operator, can show the talent as a role of separator. So the question is, when separator and when operator? When separator and when operator? Fine, good question. Suppose you are writing like this, int x comma y. Immediately ask, why you are giving comma? Don't give the comma. Arey sir, if you don't give the comma, it is a single variable x, y. I want to take two variable x comma y, na? You have to give comma. Oh, that means you are separating x from y. So that means here comma is a separator. Here comma is a separator. Suppose you are calling a function fun and you want to pass x and y both, and you give a comma here. I said, why you are giving comma? Remove that. Arey sir, if I remove the comma, it will be treated as a single variable. Now I want to pass both of them. Oh, that means again you are separating. How? By giving the comma. So here also comma is a separator. Here also comma is a separator. Now except the above two places. Above two places means, sir, you know, it is called declarative statement. It is called declarative statement. So this is called function argument. Except the above two places, if anywhere comma is visible, it will play the role of operator. So when comma separator, when comma operator. Sir, in declarative statement and in function argument, comma plays the role of separator. Except these two places, anywhere comma visible, sir, it will show the role of operator. What is the working principle? What is the working rule for comma operator? Very simple. It works from left to right. It works from left to right, and rightmost value is returned. And rightmost value is returned. Sir, what is the meaning of it? I didn't get it. Okay. So let me show you simple program here so that you can understand the funda of comma. I'm commenting it just for the timing. I want to show you the role of comma. Have a look here. Suppose you said I am having x is equal to 10 or x, y and z. And then you said, sir, z is equal to na x comma or x is equal to 10 comma y is equal to 5 and I write x plus y. Great. Then you write printf percentile d and z. So what is the z value you are asked? First you see here comma visible. Sir, it's a declarative line, declarative statement. Hence comma is a separator. Okay. Is it a declarative line? Is it a declarative line? No. Is it a function argument? No. Oh, that means here comma will show his talent as a operator. Great. Here also comma is visible. Sir, printf is a function call. Printf is a function. That means all these things are argument. Comma is visible. What talent it will show? Sir, separator. Great. Now let us come to this line. What is the rule? Just now we have learned. Comma works from left to right and rightmost value is returned. Rightmost value is returned. Great. So let's start working from left to right. X is equal to 10. 10 is assigned to x. Y is equal to 5. 5 is assigned to y. X plus y. 10 plus 5, 15. What is the rightmost value? 15. What is the rightmost value? 15. That 15 will be given to z. That 15 will be given to z. You print the z value. What is the answer? 15, sir. Compile and run. Execute, compile and run. No error, no warning. Can you able to see that? Yes. So I hope you understood the working principle for comma operator. Now let's come back to our coding. I remove all these things and let us come back to our coding. Yes. Rightmost value is returned. Yeah. Now you look into it. So I said 510. You receive the value x y. What is comma here? Separator. X plus plus y plus plus. I ask you increment the value. You incremented. Next, I ask you return both the values to main. And the suggestion given by one student is, sir, right, return x comma y. Now my question to you is, here comma is visible. Operator or separator? Here comma is operator or separator? You ask yourself. Is it a declarative statement? No. Is it a function calling? So that I will say their function argument? No. So that means no question of separator. No question of separator. What it means? Sir, comma is a operator. What does it mean? Sir, operator means left to right it will work. And what value will be returned? Rightmost. What is rightmost? Y. What is the updated value of y? You received 10, you incremented. Y is 11. So what value is coming here? 11. Really, sir? Simply you print it. Print a percentile d. Leave a comma here and you write this. And of course your return type now not anymore be void. It is of int. Now you print the result. Execute, compile and run. Let us see which result is coming. We predicted 11. Can you able to see that? Can you able to understand this story? Can you able to understand that, sir, at any cost, anyhow, I cannot return more than one value to main. I take both the approach. I applied my knowledge. I tried return x followed by return y. Not working. I thought that giving comma by writing all this it will return more than one value. No, comma is the operator and the working principle is left to right. Rightmost value will be returned. Sir, y getting returned and I got the output as 1. So that means now your problem, whatever I have given you the assignment here, return both the values to main. With this knowledge, you cannot able to do that. Yes, that's a big issue. Now what we will say, sir, how to come out of the situation? How can we come out of the situation? Yes, so before learning the concept of call by address, now we can make a point here before the call by address concept, that from a function, from a function, note, from a function, we can't return more than one value. We can't return more than one value. No need to give any example, because practically we have seen how to get rid of it. How to get rid of it. Now suppose guys, when I ask you return both the value to main, what you people have done, you are trying to do that, but before, once you tried, you find that no, it is not possible. Now you are asking me, sir, why you want to get these values? Why you want to get these two values from me? Then I said, I want to know whether you have done the work according to my instruction. I want to know whether you have done the work according to my instruction. What was your instruction? My instruction was, take this value, take these values which you have taken 5, 10, and increment them by 1. So in real life also guys, suppose I call you, you came, what sir, take these two value and increment. You took. After that you increment or not, how can I know if you are not letting me know? So that's why I said that take these two value, increment them by 1, and then let me know that whether you followed my instruction or not. You took, you incremented. Now what is your duty? You need to let me know that you followed my instruction. Then you tried both the approach to let me know by approaching return x followed by return y. No sir, not working. Then you write return x comma y, thought both the value will be returned to sir, so that sir can know my, I have done the changes, I have followed the instruction. That also failed. Now what you will do? You have to let me know that you followed my instruction. How you will do? Then you said, sir, can we have a mechanism? So this is how call by address came, observe. Then you thought, can we have a mechanism? Can we have a mechanism? Can we have a mechanism by which whatever you will perform, I will able to see automatically. Whatever you will doing, what you are doing, increment the value, I will able to see automatically. Then I will not ask you, tell me whether you followed my instruction or not, because I can see. I am not required to ask you that you followed my instruction or not. I can able to see from here. I will not do anything. I will sit here and I will see whether you are really doing it or not, because I know that you will not able to let me know, because that power is not here in C programming. So that's why I want a mechanism where I will stay here, I will give you one job. Now whether you are performing this job or not, I will able to see from here. Can we have a mechanism? This is the thing that you are asked. Sir, can we have that mechanism? Because other than that, we tried all and it is basically of no use. We cannot do that. So that's why we reach to the conclusion. Can we have a mechanism by which whatever you will perform, I will able to see automatically. So who is this you and who is this I? Who is this you and who is this I? Sir, you means called function. I means calling function. Who is this you and I? Called function and calling function respectively. Let me tell you, yes, we have a mechanism. Yes, we have a mechanism. That mechanism is none other than known as call by address. So can we have a mechanism Now let me reach to the answer. The answer is yes. We have a mechanism, and that mechanism is known as call by address. That mechanism is known as call by address. This is the reason we need to learn the concept of call by address. What is the reason? Sir, a function cannot return more than one value normally. If you use the concept call by address, then possible. Without that, it cannot be done. Now we are in a position to give the definition of call by address. Let me first give the definition, then I will tell you with an example. In case of call by address, the changes that are performed inside the called function, the changes that are performed inside the called function will automatically reflected in the calling function. How, sir? How it can be done? Yeah. So let us write the code for that. Let us write some code for that. With using user-defined data type, is it possible? Isn't it, sir? User-defined data type or whatever you take. Currently, we are dealing with built-in data type. Even you take user-defined data type or even you take built-in data type, ultimately you have to reach to this concept, call by address. Data type is not a factor. You can deal with any data type. It may be predefined data type, built-in data type, or it may be user-defined data type. But at the end of the day, you have to come to this concept, call by address. Data type, your choice. You here simple example, that's why I'm showing you with int. If you says, sir, show the same example with a structure data type, can it be done? Yes, same concept only. So data type not a factor, concept is the factor. Now you observe, how can I do this? So I'm keeping the main function same almost as it is. Let me copy this. I will not make too much changes here except one or other line. So I'm copying it. This is my main function. So this is the line where I will make a massive change. What is that change? Sir, now the concept name is call by address. So you cannot call this function in this way anymore. Then how to call? You have to write here fund. I'm calling fund. But this time while calling, you have to give the address ampersand A and then ampersand B. Ampersand A and then ampersand B. This is what you have to give. Now, I think I have already discussed the definition of pointer, where this type of discussion we already have, right? What is called a normal value, what is called special value, what is called a normal variable, what is called special variable. Now today also, whenever you are calling the function, and before calling the function, let me copy this diagram. This is basically again here also same, this portion. I'm just copying it. This portion is again same here. Yeah, this is same. Now whenever you are calling the function fund, this time what will happen, sir? Control from here will go to the function. Which function? It will go to the fund function. But today how we will define the fund function, that is a big thing. Observe. So this is where you start defining the fund function. Fund, fine. What you are sending, address of A. So address of A means what? Numerically, as per the diagram, 1000, and address of B, 2000. Already we know that. Address means special value. Address means special value. These points are already written in our copy. If any value play the role of an address, it becomes a special value. So address means special value. Once you send the address, what you are sending? Sir, 1000 and 2000. This is what you are sending. So to hold this special value here, I cannot have a normal variable like int x and int y. I cannot write like this, sir. I cannot write like int x and int y because they are capable of holding normal value. They cannot hold special value. Okay. Then how you make these variables as special variable? Simple, sir. Very simple to make the variables as special variable. What is that simplicity? Sir, put a star. You can put the star with int. You can put the star with x. Whatever is your preferable approach, you can do like this. So int star and int star y. Now they become special variable. Okay. Then what is the diagrammatic changes will come? Observe here. Again, I am copying the same portion with changes I will do here. Now, here what will happen? Sir, this time they are not going to have values like 5 and 6. They will not have values like this. What values they will be having? Sir, they are receiving the values, you can see 1000 and 2000. So that means here the value that x is having is 1000, okay, and here the value like y is having 2000. Fine. Now inside the fun function, what I am doing, observe. Suppose you are telling, sir, inside the fun function, no sir, I will write x plus plus, x plus plus. Why you write x plus plus? X plus plus writing means its value is 1000, it will be incremented to 1004. I don't want to write x plus plus. Then what you want to write? Sir, I will write star x plus plus. I will write star y plus plus. I will write star x plus plus, star y plus plus. Why you want to write this? Okay, let us go for clarity so that we can understand what is the significance of this star x plus plus, star y plus plus. Let me give you one clarity, other you will automatically understand. I'm just telling you this story. Star x plus plus, what it means, observe. So now here, what is the meaning of star? Step by step. First, star. Just you focus on star. What is the meaning of star? Star means value at address. Nothing extra, nothing less. Just up to this. Value at address. That is the meaning of star. No extra word, nothing lesser. Now after that, what you are having? You are having x. You are having x. X. X means variable name. Y means variable name. Whenever we call any variable, that is a user defined variable, that is a predefined variable, any variable, whenever we call them by the name, now I'm calling them by the name now, x, x, whenever we call them by the name, they will always respond with the value. They will always respond with the value. What is the value of x? Already you know, inside the box is the value. Sir, it is 1000. It is 1000. Now the entire thing, I can say that this entire thing will be incremented by 1. Why will be incremented by 1? Sir, because it is having a plus plus after it. So incremented by 1. You know that. Pre-increment, post-increment means they are incremented by 1. Now look into here. Value at address 1000 will be incremented by 1. If I write it in English word, what it means? I want the entire line's English meaning. The entire thing, I want to write its English meaning. What does it mean? Value at the address, value at the address 1000 will be incremented by 1. Value at the address 1000 will be incremented by 1. So first you figure it out where 1000 is address. Is 1000 is address here? No. Sir, 1000 is inside the box. Inside the box means value. It's not address here. So where 1000 is address? Sir, here 1000 is address. Great. Now what it says? value at the address 1000. That means where 1000 is playing the role of address, you please go there and increments the value by 1. Value means inside the box. Oh, this 5 will change to 6 na sir. Yes, the 5 will change to 6. Now observe guys, where the things are happening. Sir, things are happening inside you in the fun function. But where reflection is happening, sir, reflection is happening in the main AB. Performance is happening here. Main is automatically getting able to know that something is happening. So now with similar reasoning, with exactly similar reasoning, can I say that, sir, this will change the value from 6 to 7. This will change the value from 6 to 7. Now just have a look here. What is the output in this case? Before the function call, when you printed, what was the output? 5, 6. First set of output is 5, 6. Okay. Now I want to know second set of output. To get the second set of output, let me write a printf function here in the function. Same way. I write here printf inside func the values are %d, and this time I say star x comma star y. I say star x comma star y. Then what value will be printed? Now by this time you can able to read star x and star y. How to read star x and star y? Sir, it's very easy now. Star means, sir, I will read value at address. Nothing extra, nothing less. Lastly, what you are having? X. X means, sir, 1000. Now can you read it? Value at address 1000. Where 1000 is playing the address, what is the value there? 6. So similar reasoning, next one will be 7. So that means my second set of output is none other than 6, 7. Sir, up to this is same to the previous application. Now there also 5, 6, 6, 7 was there. Yes, in the previous one also 5, 6, 6, 7 was there. Can you able to see? Changes are happening and reflecting here in the function only. And here also changes are happening, reflecting in the function only. Now I am closing the fun function. Once you close the fun function, do I have any return statement? No. So then what about the return type? Simple void. Simple void. So my function is written, writing the function body is over. Sir, now automatically control will come back to main, na sir? Yes. Then which line will execute? This line will execute. After function call, the values are, this line will execute. This line will execute. Now you read this. After function call, the values are A, B. Look into the A, sir, 6. Look into the B, sir, 7. So now what will be printed? 6, 7. So that means whatever you have done two activity. What activity? Received my values and you change the value. Now automatically I am able to know this or not. Do I ask you return both the value? No, I will not ask. Because whatever activities you are doing, it is automatically reflected in myself. So that means previous set of output 5, 6, 6, 7, 5, 6. Now 5, 6, 6, 7, 6, 7. Now can you be able to read this line? Sir, in case of call by address, the changes that are performed inside the called function, yes, this is the called function, will automatically reflected. Will automatically reflected means no need to have any return statement, automatically reflected. Because even you are having return statement, you cannot return more than one value. So automatically reflected in the calling function. This is none other than the concept of call by address. That is the reason, guys, whenever you take any user input in C programming, suppose you said printf, enter the value. Enter the value. You want to take a dynamic input. Then what you do? What is the next line you write? Sir, I write scanf, double quotation, %d, and I write ampersand x. Why? Why you write ampersand x? What is the need? No sir, my teacher told me that to write scanf function we have to write ampersand x, that's why I write ampersand x. Now you are able to understand what is the reality behind it. It's a function na guys. Scanf is a function na? Yes. How you are calling? By address. That means it is called by address. Now whenever you are taking user input means from keyboard, so some changes are happening or not. Suppose you give 10, Yes, some changes are happening. That change have to be reflected to this X or not. Here, who is the caller? Sir, main is the caller. Here, main is the calling function. Who is the called function? Scanf function. So, if scanf does anything, main needs to know that thing or not. Sir, scanf reads a value. Yes, main also need to get that result. Main needs to know that. How it is possible? If you use call by value concept, if scanf does anything, main will never able to know that. But if I use the call by address concept, if scanf does anything, what scanf does? Sir, it reads the input from keyboard. Main needs to know that, because in the next half of the program, after this, whenever you start writing the code, na, whatever value you have received, based on value you will work now. So that means what scanf has done, whether it has read the value perfectly or not, main need to know that. Otherwise, how you will work on that value? So if main need to work, main need to know that value, compulsory when main call this scanf, na sir, main needs to apply the approach of call by address. That is the reason, guys, in scanf function we use ampersand x. It is none other than the concept of call by address. Take a picture of this one. First take this one. Those who need to take a picture of this. Okay, I hope you have done that. Next, this portion. Yeah. Next, this. So with this, our discussion of call by value and call by address is over, right? In CSC2 EC2, we are having very less number of classes for the last 1 month, right? Because in other classes like in CSC3, CSC1, almost we have completed the pointer discussion, right? Most in CSC3, EC3 batch, pointer discussion is over. So we are only completed the third topic here in the pointer. So this week again we are not having any class on Saturday. So Saturday we are having holiday. So next we are going to meet on next Thursday, right? 27. Fine. So 27 is going to be a very important session, because 27 first I am going to discuss about this concept which is very very important. That is the concept of 1D array with pointer and 2D array with pointer. These two concepts I am going to discuss on our next session. Let me take your attendance now.